I want to thank you for coming out in this brisk weather. Obviously, the holiday season's upon us, and what that means also is that the winter weather season is here too. But first, let me wish those of different faiths Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas, and hope that you have a great holiday season. But the reason why we're here is to talk about our preparation for snow removal and making sure that our streets are safe. And so again, we have our public works staff preparing for the snow and ice season, and want to share just some information I think is important. We have stocked up with our salt and sand material. We certainly have our employees ready to go. They have been making sure all of the equipment is maintained and ready for this winter's activities. We have over 8,000 tons of salt and sand on hand today. To put that in perspective, we only use about 500 tons for one event on average. And so we have 8,000 on hand today. We have nearly 160 staff that are trained and ready to plow using 62 snow plows that we have. Just to understand our challenges, we have 5,000 lane miles that those 62 plows have to take care of. 1,500 of the lane miles are considered emergency routes. They get first priority. Then we focus on the remaining arterials, which account for the rest of those. It takes about 12 hours in one shift to make a pass through the city. So all 62 trucks running, it takes 12 hours to make one pass through the city. So when we have those events where it's coming down in record numbers, it obviously provides some challenges for us. An average, again, we use about 500 tons of salt for one event. So having 8,000 tons on hand obviously is well prepared us for any events that might take place this winter season. I want to talk a little bit about what we've done in the past, but we instituted a new GPS mapping device that you can look up, and I'm glad Alan finally decided to join us today. Thank you, Mr. King, for coming out. We really appreciate your promptness. I'm sure he was busy briefing all of his public works folks. If you go to www.wichita.gov/snow removal, you can get up to the second report on where those snow plows are. And so it's real-time reporting on where those snow plows are in our city, which is very helpful, especially if you're out having to navigate in that. But I want to give you a quick 6-year reference on what we've done in the past on snow removal, because it really is dependent on the type of winter we have. So going all the way back to 2010, we spent about $600,000 in our budget on making sure our streets were safe. In 2011, we spent $900,000. In 2012, $500,000. In 2013, we spent $1.8 million. In 2014, $2.5 million. In 2015, $2.2 million. And then in 2016, $1 million. So you can see that it's difficult when we have that much volatility. Just to let you know, about half of that typically is in labor and half of it in material. And so that kind of gives you an idea of where we typically spend those dollars at, and making sure that our streets are clear and safe for the winter driving season. So at that point in time, obviously it was important to get out in this wonderful weather and give you this great visual of where we're at in preparation for this season. That's all we have. We can open it up for questions. We have Mr. King that graciously joined us that can share any other information or any other topics that you would like to ask me about. Yes. We started a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, they're telling me now. So it's 2, 3, somewhere in that. No, it's kind of a nice way, because we do have GPS in all of our vehicles now. We have GPS in, I think, all of our buses too. but it's a nice way to track that, especially if you're out or you're curious when they're coming making another pass. So they do a really good job, and oftentimes if we have a major event, it's all hands on deck, and that's where some of those costs come in, where we have quite a bit of overtime and that kind of stuff that accumulates. But it's a challenge when we have a major event. Alan, jump up at the mic.
More specifically, how you guys use it, how it augments your coverage and your service.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question, please?
Could you just kind of describe a little more specifically how you use this new GPS mapping system? What
The
you
GPS
use it for,
mapping
how you use it to improve service.
Yeah, we use it in planning our event, how we dispatch our trucks. We can see where they are. There's a feature on that is also available to the public where you could leave. It's called a breadcrumb, and you can make it an hour, a day, and even longer. You can set how long, and it shows you the trail of where they've been over a certain period of time. That helps us not only see where they are and where they'd have to be dispatched to pick up more sand or to help another part of the route, but it also shows us what routes have been actually covered over a period of time. And as the public, if they want to, they can also look at that too to get a sense of, how long has it been since a truck has been past this particular part of the route that I plan on taking. So it helps us plan our response, but it also helps the public plan their route in getting around.
Thank you. Well, thank you all for coming out in the cold today, and if there's no other questions, we'll call that a wrap. Thank you all.